It is October 24th, Sunday. I said like a baseball announcer. It's October 21st, 24th, Sunday here at Wrigley Field. Aaliyah, stop. Sorry, Aaliyah almost attacked the cat. Um, I got, I started busking again, doing music, not just street stand up, and I got, I got booked from it, which is really dope. I got booked for this fundraiser that's going to be happening. I think it's the next month on the 11th or something like that. I don't know. I posted about it, and I'm really excited about it. But it's also making me realize like I've got a long way to go, and I'm not ready for bigger things yet, which is humbling or whatever. I guess I'm not a god amongst men in the comedy community of Chicago. I don't get on stage with the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet and stones and snap my fingers and all the audience laughs and chortles away. Fuck am I saying? No, I had a little bit of a moment where I was like, oh fuck, I'm not. It's not that I'm not good. I'm not ready. Is that basically not being good enough yet? I don't know because when I do my sets, they're good, right? Like I think I'm definitely above an open mic level, but not and deserve to be booked for shorter sets. But being booked for this, I just realized I had a moment. I messaged the guy. So the guy, we went back and forth, and I talked to the guy, and I was like, "All right, is there?" He's offering me money, not a lot of money, but money, and that means something. He's offering me money, and I ask him, "Is there anything I should stay away from? Anything you don't want me to talk about? You're offering me money. I'm not gonna go over here and say the crazy shit that I normally say because it clicked to me like, oh, this is my job." And he was like, "Okay, just random people are coming. Don't get political, which isn't too big of an issue. I don't really talk about politics, but when I started looking through my material, I was like, oh, a lot of this shit could really offend and upset people, which is fine. I was aware when I wrote it, but when I wrote it, it was always in the context of a fucking dive bar or a comedy club. Like it was like I never thought of like, oh, I got to go to a fundraiser where they have picnic tables out and plastic sporks so they can eat pumpkin pie or whatever to listen to comedy. I don't know if that's going to be the vibe or not, but when you think of fundraiser, you don't think of dank, dirty basement where comedians go to get drunk and tell crazy racial and dick jokes. That's not what you think about. So it just made me rethink about like how I approach writing, how much I'm going to write, how I approach this on a professional level. And I think it's just like, it's like anything else. You just do it over and over again and you figure it out. Things start to click. That's how I've treated the Southside mics. That's how I've treated comedy in general. So once I get booked for more smaller, Aaliyah, stop. Once I get booked for smaller venues like this, and I can stay consistent, I can feel what that feels like. What does it feel like to perform at a fundraiser and get paid? What does it feel like to perform at different types of fundraisers and get paid? What does it feel like to perform at a fundraiser and be doing 30 minutes, not just like 10, which is what I'm doing. I think I'm doing like 8, something like that. And it's humbling and frustrating at the same time. It's like I know that I know I'm good, but now I know I'm really not that good. Just being concerned about it really says something because now, I never get concerned when I go to mics on the north side. My concern is lowering when I go to south side mics. So this is a new little challenge, a new chapter, which I'm excited about. Like I don't want to be a negative Nancy about it. I'm excited about it. It's crazy. It's weird because it's not an opportunity that I would get in Riverside. Like, I can't, that's not the type of city where stuff like this happens, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm even putting too much weight on it. I probably look back, listen to myself talk about this and be like, oh, wow, $20 for 10 minutes. Good for you. It's so dreary outside. It's beautiful. I was told I got to get a happy lamp. It's like a lamp that mimics sunlight, which is trippy. I guess I've never even considered the idea that the sun would be gone for so long that it would make me sad. Usually when the sun's out, I'm angry and annoyed. So man, I'm really, really curious what it's going to be like around February. But it's dreary out. It's going to be raining. It's nice. I like it. I dig it, man. And speaking of money and comedy and stuff, I went to Laugh Therapy again, and I got picked for the competition. It was Pat, who you heard a little bit about, and this other dude, Jack Woods, who I'm sure I'll have on the podcast eventually. We're right here. And so we get picked, and I won, but not by a landslide, and that's not good. That's not a good thing to me. No offense, Jack. So Pat's been doing it a few months, and Jack's been doing it a few months. And I've been in it for like goddamn 6 years. Like I should win something like that. Right? I'm proud of myself for winning. I'm glad that I won. I'm glad I got the money. The little bit of clout that it gives you to say, I won a competition. But internally, I can't fully accept the W. It doesn't seem like I can fully accept any W's. Like getting booked for this fundraiser, that's a W. Getting money for that, winning this competition, that's a W. And getting money for that, and yet there's still this thing in me that's like, it's not good enough. I gotta fix things. I gotta tweak things. It's just gotta get better. What is that? Is that the sign of a true artiste? Or is that a sign of a guy who's a negative Nancy? Or a human, a they that is a negative Nancy? No, is Nancy a female name or a male name? I don't know. I don't know the rules anymore. It's just gotten complicated. So Pat went up, and honestly, in terms of style, in terms of what he talks about, what he's trying to present on stage, I think like if Pat was a couple of years in, he would have crushed, he would have killed it. But I think it's the lack of technique and the experience yet. Like he needs to have more experience on stage or whatever. And then Jack is also new, and he needs more confidence. It was interesting. It was interesting seeing these guys perform, because I can see what's going to make them better. I can see the holes in their game, and it just is a matter of practice. And it makes me wonder, like, as older comics, when they watch me, are they seeing the same thing? Which is probably the case. Or maybe not. Maybe they're not watching me at all. Maybe they don't care about my set. I don't know. See, there I go being negative again. God damn. I gotta get back to my meditation more. And I gotta get my exercise game together more and be alone more. Like, doing all of the stuff that made me a healthier person through quarantine is way harder to do when you got to go to work and you have shows to do and you're meeting people again and life is running like normal. I'm sure I've said this before, but I get how to become enlightened and do all that shit, you got to go off to the Himalayas and shave your head and wear robes and smash wood with your hands and fucking sleep on hot coals or whatever they do up there, because like you listen to birds chirp, because you can't, it's so hard to find that, like, that inner peace, man. I almost said inner peace too genuinely. You can't say inner peace without saying, man, to find that inner peace, man, you gotta find the heart within, brother. You got to open your chakras, man. You got to open your third eye, which is one of your chakras, man. Why does everyone focus on the third eye and they don't think about the sacral chakra as much? Or the root chakra, or the heart chakra, or the throat chakra. It's always the third eye. The third eye chakra is the one everyone, or the crown chakra. She just finished a run and is walking in. I'm recording right now, just so you know. Okay. I'll let you decompress. Running right now must be amazing, though, because it's like not hot.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, and there's like moisture in the air.
I love running in the cold.
Nice. I was trying to figure out why everyone focuses on the third eye chakra and none of the other chakras when you hear people talk about chakras.
Yeah, which is bullshit because you should focus on they're all
Of important, right? They align and they.
You can't neglect one and then expect the other to open.
Right.
It all depends on each other.
I think she said you can't neglect one and expect all of them to open. They all depend on each other. It is a system. It's like how your body, your biology works. Like you need. I'm not making any sense. I guess the third eye chakra is the sexy chakra. Like it looks cool to be drawn, and to have like a little eye. Yeah. Oh, I thought power was the.
What is it, like Boom Boom Bang Man from Avatar?
Boom Boom Bang. Oh, the guru.
No, the guy that tries to kill them with the third eye.
Yeah, Boom Boom Bang Man. Yeah. It's like this power. Yeah. Well, anyway, what's I saying? Watching them. Yeah. So I opened my third eye, man, as I watched their sets, brother, and watching him. So watching Pat. And I'll probably talk to him about this whenever we do this podcast. Which, Buck, I ordered the other microphone, like, I think it was like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And Pat has been for the past week and a half, has been like, hey, man, when are we doing it? What are we doing? When are we doing it? Come on, man, let's do it. Come on, man, let's do it. That's not how he sounds at all.
Shame.
If that's how oh, God. Pat fascinates me. Anyway, so when he went on stage, he had the confidence. He has a swagger about him, but he doesn't have the technique there, the writing technique. Like his punches, what he was actually saying, the words he was saying, the punches were not strong enough, and he wasn't present. He wasn't there with the audience. You could really feel that he was going through the motions. And when it wasn't working, that momentum was lost. Like he started off good. He went up there and he started dancing, being sexy, getting the energy up. And the audience was with him. And then when he started talking, it was like he wasn't connecting with them. It's a really hard thing to describe it unless you've been on stage consistently. But there is a feeling when you're just going through the motions, when you're just saying the words that you know you're supposed to say, but you're not putting any sort of oomph or real meaning behind it. And that was his issue. Had he, like in terms of his subject matter, I think had he stayed more present, and had a little more experience on stage, I think he would have won. Because of what he talks about and how he talks about it, it fits perfectly with laugh therapy. Even though the jokes, in my opinion, aren't written as high a caliber as they could be, I think he could have skated off of his charm and energy. But technique is important, and I've learned that now. And then with Jack, Jack was. I'll probably do a podcast with him. Jack, I'll make a clip and hi Jack, you're tagged in this now. He's a comic I met recently. He's new to it and he's white. And I told him, if you want to get really good, you got to be able to do any situation. And so I had him come to 10 Bar, I think it was, which is in the South Side. It's like adjacent to me, but it's a black room. And then he went to Laugh Therapy, which is a South Side mic. And when he went on stage, he he did what Bill Burr actually talked about a lot when he first started doing black rooms, where you get on stage and you say, "I'm a white guy. Whoa, I'm so white. Mayonnaise. I'm wiggity wiggity white." He did that. He really leaned into the I'm a nervous white guy surrounded by scary black people in the South Side of Chicago, which is fair. That was how he felt, and God damn it, if that isn't present, I don't know what is. And it was his second time doing it, and it's like it's a very brave thing for him to do because I know that shit is scary. But he went up there and his jokes he's been performing at Second City, and he's getting formal training in terms of joke writing and performance. So he does, like, Pat has this very natural confidence and the swagger about him, and Jack has the what's the word? He has the technical aspect down. He knows how to write a joke. He has jokes that are very clever. He has he has this fucking joke about Chinese people and condoms that bombed spectacularly, and it makes me so happy to even think about it. Every time I think about it, I think about that moment. I think about that joke bombing, and then I sleep soundly at night. And but he has the technique down. He understands how to write jokes. He understands how to make punchlines good, but he doesn't have the confidence or that swagger and that life experience that keeps the audience's respect, if that makes sense. He did, and this is based off of the audience's applause or whatever. So he did better than Pat because he had the technique, but he didn't have that confidence, you know. And then I went. Okay, we're good. Then I went up after him. Obviously, there's only 3 of us that got picked, and I started off shaky. That room, laugh therapy is a no joke. Like, sometimes it feels like they're excited to not laugh. They sit there. You ever, like, if you're a comic and you're listening to this for some reason, if you're seeing an audience member mentally fold their hands across their chest, like, that's how when you're discussing something with somebody, like you're in a debate or whatever, and they fold their hand, they've completely closed themselves off to anything you're going to say or do. That's how that room feels, which again is why I praise Jess Niche and Leon. I don't know his last name, but these hosts, because they're constantly performing to a room filled of people crossing their arms in front of them saying, "Make me laugh," which is just the worst mentality to have when you're trying to laugh. But it started off real shaky. I was doing deaf material. It started off real shaky. But in watching these hosts, like in watching Spunky Robinson, I remember I talked about him at Meatball Mondays. I was watching them, and it's like they ignore the lack of laughter. That you just power through. And that meant something different to me back in Riverside. And before moving out here, like, powering through meant you sweat and you stumble through the shit. You just get through the material. You get through and you say words until the time is up. That was powering. That's what powering through meant to me before. But after coming out here and watching these guys, and I'm specifically thinking of Spunky Robinson right now. I swear, I am not going to mess up this man's name. Because I mess up everybody's name. Because everybody's got to have a fucking nickname. Yeah, that's it. I'm specifically thinking of Spunky Robinson right now. When I watched him host Meatball Mondays, it was like powering through meant saying the joke with your fucking chest, and whether the audience laughs or not, you don't react to their lack of laughter for the most part. You just confidently move forward, almost as if to say to the audience, "Yeah, you weren't supposed to laugh there anyway." That's the vibe. Like, when the joke doesn't land or doesn't hit, rather than being like, oh, dude, that one didn't work. I guess you guys didn't really enjoy that bit. And then you get a napkin and you dab the sweat off of your brow. Instead of doing that, you just lean and you say, that was the joke, and that's the joke, and that's what it is. And you keep moving. And so when I first got up there and I started, I could tell I was going through the motions a bit, which is good. Like being able to assess yourself while on stage, while talking to people is a weird thing that I'm starting to finally click into. And when it wasn't working, when I realized like, oh, I'm going through the motions, let me switch gears. I don't really know how to word what that means yet, but I just kind of I clicked into realizing like, okay, I'm not present, I'm not here. Let me do something different. And I don't know what I did, but after my first punchline hit, I kind of got him a little more, and I was rolling with it. The audience members were reacting to things, and oh shit, I actually think I have it recorded. Yes, okay, I might be able to splice some audio in. There we go. I might be able to splice some audio in. From what I remember of it, though, talking about deaf people, and I remember I said some shit about people with disabilities, and this woman like was pulled back, and I talked to her about how Jack was talking about having sex with quadriplegics, and she didn't have an issue with that, which is still crazy to me. Jack is a wild, wild young boy. And then I had another dude who laughed at one of the jokes, but he sounded like his laugh was just weird. So I like got to respond to that, and I got to be in the moment a little more. And then we do the thing where Justin Niche goes over each comic's head and is like, all right, clap. And Pat was out, and then it was just down to me and Jack. And so it was really close, which, no offense, Jack, which on my part should not be the case. Like if I've been doing this for this many years and I have material and I know my material is different than everybody's and it's all, I've been working on this. I should have made that a landslide. That's a personal failure for me. It shouldn't be that close. I should have made it a landslide, and I'm disappointed in myself with that. But regardless, it was very, very close. And then we had a one joke off, and I just, I don't even think I told a joke. I just was like, I could say nigga, I win. And then everyone was like, yeah, woo! He wins, the end. And I felt mixed about that because I was like, well, clearly this was the right move. But then it put Jack in this fucked up situation where now he can't. He can't. He tried, but he can't. And then he tried to do a joke that was way too long and had too much, way too long, needed to cut the fat. And then he like hinted at himself saying, it was, again, the Bill Burr, oh, will I say it or will I won't say it? Wacky and right in the line racially. That was his reaction to it, which was probably the best thing he could have done. And then I ended up winning. I think there was an older woman in the back who was like, split the money. Give him some and him more, or whatever. And so, yeah, got money for it, which was really cool. And it's on my Instagram. If you want to see what they look like, the pictures on my Instagram. It's me in black and white, and then when you swipe, you can see the other two guys. If you want to get a visual of them, we're good. We're still good. So that was good. Winning competitions and making money from that, getting booked for a fundraiser, going to make money from that. It's like, I got to keep reminding myself, be patient. When the stuff happens, don't get ahead of yourself. Don't start to try to make it happen faster. Just keep going at the pace you're going and keep grinding. And now I got to really rethink how I write, because this is a business, and it's like, oh man, I could get booked for places and I can't, I can't have people pay. It's a different feeling. There's a freedom in being at an open mic. I get that. I get what that is a little more now. There's a freedom at an open mic and there's a freedom at a competition. Because at a competition, it is what it is. They like you or they don't. And if they like you, they'll give you money. And if they don't, they won't. At an open mic, nobody's paying for this. It's just me working it out. And there's this understanding of that. So that's fine. But when someone says to you, I'm going to give you money to go to this place and stand on stage and entertain people, it has a different feeling to it. Like if I was famous and I had a huge following and I went to the comedy bar and all my fans showed up there, it's like, yeah, I could do whatever I want because that's what they want to see. But when you get sent out to a quote, big old air quotes, corporate, it's not like I'm going to show up in a suit and a tie or anything. But when you get put into a corporate situation where these people just want to hear jokes, they don't give a fuck about my feelings or my experience or my emotions or my third eye, man. They don't care about my third eye, brother. They don't care about that. They just want to laugh. And so I'll figure it out and I'll tell you about it, I'm sure. But it's something I'm going to need to keep happening. I got to keep doing well so I can keep getting booked in these situations so I can learn how to deal with it. And then the last little thing that was happening that I'm starting to notice is black people in the South Side really don't know how to not handle me, but like, what is this? I get wiggly around them. Every time I'm around them, I start wiggling around like the wacky inflatable tube arm man. And they're like, whoa, let's hold him, grab him. And I'm too wiggly. Like I'm too wiggly, you know? Exactly. No, it's fine. So they don't know, they just don't know how to take me in as a person. And it is weirdly reminiscent of white people in Riverside. It's more loving. There's more of a love and a care and an interest in me as a person, but it's very reminiscent of that. It echoes it. I finished my set and was talking to these other comics. There was 3 women and I didn't catch the other 2's name, so I got to get their name. But the one, and I'm never gonna forget this name, and I don't think I could fuck up this name. There's Tiny Thickums, which. I don't know how people are coming up with these names. I don't understand it, but I'm starting to get sad that I don't have a nickname. Like there's Just Niche and Chicken Wing and Tiny Thickums and Aaron Chase. Like it's like my name doesn't pop like that. God damn. Anyway, so I want somebody give me a nickname, please. So I was talking to the 3 ladies, and the one that was speaking to me the most was Tiny Thickums, who has an Instagram that you should check out. If you want to get a vibe of this person, what is her Instagram? It's Tiny_Thickums. THICKEMZ and zebra #1. Tiny Thickums #1. Check out her Instagram because you really, there's no words to describe this human being. You really got to visually see this person to know what I'm saying. But she was flabbergasted. She was flabbergasted at the way I speak. Did I use flabbergasted? That's all, folks. Did I use flabbergasted as a way to emphasize my point? Yes, I did. She was just like, she kept saying that you speak so formally. Like I'm not even, the way I speak isn't even accurate to how she was saying it. But she was like, you speak so formally. And it's like, that's just kind of how I was raised. Like it is what it is. And it wasn't, she wasn't saying it as an insult at all, really. And I think that's the difference. That's the difference between the reaction of black people out here to me and white people in Riverside. is when white people would comment on how I speak, how I dress, how I behave, whatever, it was always with this air of either condescension or an underlying insult, whether they realized it or not. Whereas in the South Side or whatever, and out here, when black people are reacting to me, they're reacting out of mostly curiosity. Like I'm meeting people who have very literally said to me they have never met a black person like me in their life. And I find that fascinating. I would love to, when I get this fucking equipment, whenever that's going to happen, I would love to do a podcast with Tiny Thickums. I'm going to just call her Tiny because the Thickums, the Thickums is what throws me off. Into the thickum of it. Into the thickum of it. This is a great podcast. It's free. Anyway, but she was just like, you're so formal, and not in a bad way, just in a really curious way. And there was another comic there. I should have gotten her name. Two of them. One of them said, "Oh, you did your thing on Wednesday," and seemed to give me some props for that. And the other girl was like, she was like, she grew up in the suburbs, right? White people or whatever. And I was like, yeah. And it was really brief, but I was like, it's a different type of difficult. I want to sit down and talk with all, like, I really look forward to doing a podcast with all these people one day and really digging into that, because I think it's interesting. I find it fascinating because from what seems for like my perception of people's perception of me, how incepted is that of the perceptions? See, man, my third eye's open, man. If you open your third eye, you'll be able to understand what I'm just saying, brother. My perception of their perception of me is that because of the way I speak, the way I hold myself, or because of where I'm from, that my life was easy. I think that seems to be the misconception amongst black people so far. Like they think my life was easy, and it's like, in some ways, I can't deny that. There's gunshots that went off literally last night. And where I grew up, at least initially, and then after I moved out and I moved to other places, gunshots are not new to me anymore. But where I grew up, that gunshots were not a thing. Like that's not a thing. But getting fucked with by the cops is still a thing, and is almost worse or scarier because you're the only, like, you stick out so much. In a sea of black people, when the cops drive by, they're seeing a sea of black people. When you're in the suburbs, it's like they're seeing you and nobody else. Little things like that, and it's it's like a mental game that they play. So I really want this equipment to come. I don't know what's going on, because I want to have a podcast with all these people. Like all these people I'm talking about are really interesting, and I want whoever listens to this to listen to, just listen, you know? What are we at? 33. Yeah, 33 minutes seems to be like a reasonable amount of time to listen to me ramble. I still got to talk about King of the Hill. I'm on season 3 right now. They got a female pastor at the church, and there's controversy about that because it was the 90s. I think that's about it. Comment. Yeah, that's what I'll ask. Comment, share it, do the thing. Till next time.